Hello all, welcome. Yesterday I realized I based the positioning completely on the size of the module instead of the size of the image itself, which was a mistake. So I'm going to be doing a couple things here. And hopefully by basing the circles on the relative position of the actual image, we'll get the correct sizes whenever we resize the image, no matter what. That is the goal. 320 by 229. 640 by 458, perfect. So with that, we can reliably get the image width and height here and use that as a relative position instead. Oh yeah, I added that earlier. Let me get rid of the current buttons so I can reliably test all the buttons. See how this goes. I wonder why it takes so long. Maybe it's just not refreshing. So I think I have to change this now. Now that the scaling is different. It's either different or off. Can't tell. Oh wait, I missed something. Let me try this. ended up being the same thing, I believe? Maybe? A different color. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so instead of using this, we want to use the images position plus the width of the image. So hopefully the image is available. Nope, we have to make it available. So we want to use this. This would explain why it's stretched out right there. Because I'm using the width as a scale for the height as well, which is not correct. Look at that. That fixed it right there. Let me try one more over here. Set up view. Now the next question, can we get to scale to a smaller or larger size correctly? So now I'm going to try a module width of 240, a much smaller size. And indeed, they do scale. Now let's go for a much larger size. $12.80. Perfect. So that fixes that issue. Even though this is unreasonably big, of course. Alright, I'm glad that was resolved pretty quickly. It actually wasn't that hard to figure out, I guess. So that's pretty awesome. I just realized this is done in draw, isn't it? Is that what we want? Let's see. This has nothing to do with drawing. Why do we do in draw? Do it in run, maybe? Let's see. What happens if we do it in run? So I'm just curious what happens. Oh god, I forgot I made this really large. It still works just fine. Don't see any issue with it. Alright, let me make this a normal size now, instead of this ridiculous size. I do notice it's slightly off. I think I know why. I have a plus in there somewhere. Let me see. So right here, I draw the controller image slightly off. Let's remove this part. And all the dots should get drawn. Actually, this might... All the dots need to be drawn a little further down, I think. In my opinion, we probably don't even need the +8. I think that's for insurance that it's not overlapping the border. Let's see. Put a +8 here, maybe? Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I think this is fine. I want to try one more. See what happens. Save that. I'm gonna resize it. See what it looks like. Very tiny size. Let's see. Yeah, see, now it's really weird. Why that happens? I need to figure out. Let's see, we always give the controller a +8. Controller image. It must be scaling in a strange way. Because honestly, +8 is not that much. But if I put a +8 here, what happens? Does it line up now? Almost. Not quite. So... something is going on here. Hey, lazy gamer. Welcome. Well, we always scale... Oh! The height scaling is arbitrary. That's right. But it always keeps its aspect ratio, though. It must be the initial +8 that we are not factoring in. Drag it over here. +8. Let's remove it and see what happens. And redo all this. Yeah. I'm usually I usually program during lunch breaks, yeah. Right now I'm testing this scaling because I fixed the offset issue from yesterday, but now I have another issue. It's not quite scaling right, so I have to figure out what's going on with that. I might have just solved it, we'll see. It's pretty close. I think as we get smaller, it's less accurate. Not that it matters too much, but... Well, it's definitely closer this time, and the height actually matches because +8. I think the X is off now because I have a +1 there. Okay, so if we just have an absolute position, we shouldn't have any more issues once I redo them. Okay. I think that's why I had an offset for the controller image this whole time. It's awkward. It's interesting. Popped up on my test one before my actual one. So now let's resize. So this should scale properly now. Yes. Good. Do one more test. Perfect. Alright. So no more bugs or issues with that. So that was kind of the whole idea behind storing everything as percentages of the image instead of relative positions. That way when the image is resized, in any way, shape, or form, the positions of the buttons remain intact. Because their positions are based on the percentage of the image, not a relative position. Cool. Let's see. I actually didn't think it was gonna be such a simple fix, but after thinking about it yesterday, I realized I wasn't actually using the image as a reference point. So this puts me on track to continue adding functionality for the other buttons later today, and eventually adding the axes. Wonder how I'm gonna do this. We could add a step for add button that determines if we create an axis or so I'm trying to think what else I have to do here. I really gotta do some kind of selection menu or something. I might change the buttons to say like add control. I'll make everything called a control, and then from there you choose whether it's an axis or a button. And then I don't know where to go from there. Because if it's an axis... One idea is to have the player wiggle the axis a little bit and have it register automatically. To detect it though would require quite a bit of code if I want to do it that way. I could also just list all the axes, show the values of them, and have the user select one. That might actually be better. Let me add some notes here. Axis selection. Displays all values for all axes. In real time. User selects one to map to axis control. I like that. That should work out pretty nicely. That way they can see in real time what the values are and determine which axis they're actually trying to map, without it being just some archaic name convention. When we click add control, provide selection option between axis and button. Drag new button / axis. Oh wait, and we're gonna add Divide selection option between circle slash circle slash what? Square. Axes can be one of two things though. Two-way axis is for four-way controls, most analog sticks, and then one-way axis is for usually for analog analog controls, most shoulder pressure sensitive buttons. Show analog value / show digital value. Yeah, it gets a little complicated because of how axes works. Analog values can have multiple values. If it's a four-way control, that thing can be positioned anywhere along a circle. But if it's a shoulder button, it's likely you're either going to show whether it's pressed or not. That's it. So showing a digital value would be useful. Man, I might have to make some custom windows for these things. Probably. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to reference a lot of slideshow viewer in order to set these up. Custom windows. Gonna have to start looking at that again. Preferably a custom window that we display when we select something. That would be the best way to do it at this point. Dialogue. Oh. Let's see. I have to look up some things too. J window. That's what I need. A J window or I guess they're synonymous, frames and windows. How do we open it? Set visible is true. So if I just create a new frame, will that pop up? Let's find out. Let's add a new frame. just for testing. Where do I do this? Let's do this in here. Test frame. I'm just gonna do set visible. Alright, so there's another window. Okay, so it is as simple as that. Pop up another window, put stuff in it. That's not too bad. I can work with that. I'm probably gonna make a new class to handle this specific frame. That way it doesn't get too cluttered with me putting a bunch of stuff here. So I will probably put it in here. Call it the control configuration window. This is going to implement, I think implement? No, extends JFrame. And we may need to implement listeners later, but this is what we're looking for here. And by doing this, should be able to override anything I want, honestly. Probably just set everything up in here. Visible, true. So, just gonna use this as a basic setup, see how that goes. So when we create and show the GUI, we'll also create our... Well, that's not true. Let's create it when we click a button, just for testing purposes right now. So, when I... What is this? Copy clickable button? This doesn't actually exist yet, but I'll make something similar. Copy clickable button. Go for this. If mouse inside bound. Wait, what? Why doesn't this work? Oh. And if we get to this, let's open a window. Just like that. Then something broke. What did I do? Whoopsies. Alright, so then we click this, boom, pops up. So later we'll populate this window with configuration settings and stuff. And that'll be that, I think. Start to adding a new window, and then I have to mess with all the window layouts and displaying stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna probably take... I would say this implementation is gonna take another 2 or 3 days to fully get done. Because it's a pretty complicated implementation, but it will happen eventually. In there. Anyways, I need to get going back to work pretty soon. So this is good progress. Go ahead and commit this. I'm gonna go ahead and head out for now. I have a decent starting point when I return later. My goal was to fix the displaying bug with the scaling controller image earlier, and it looks like I accomplished that fairly easily, so that's good. Implemented button detection / presses. Set up framework for configuration window. How I deployed my website on my Linux server. Oh. Yeah, if you're interested in something like that, I could show you later. It's not too complicated, at least for the basic setup. I'll talk more about it later if you're interested. See you around, Lazy Gamer. Thanks for hanging out. And for anybody else who tuned in, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be around later today. Take care.